Hi, thank you for joining me today. I will be showing you how to add a product, also create a discount, and a custom catalog in your Vinoshipper profile. So the first thing we're going to want to do is go to products, hit the product drop down and go to product list. And we are going to add a new product today. So we're going to click add product, new product. You will see that we have quite a few categories. I definitely think as you're starting out, you'll want to go ahead and think about, the products that you sell and go ahead and enter them depending on the category. So, we'll do packaged alcohol today in this demo, but you definitely want to look through and add any merchandise, grocery, tasting fees, things of that nature. What's really nice about having the different categories is the taxonomy is correct based on the category. So it's really great. So we will do a wine for the demo. The first thing that you will see is you get a broad type of wine that gets pulled up. So red, white, rosé, things of that nature. I'm going to do a red wine. So I can go ahead and add an image from here, or if I do not currently have an image, I can do use logo. You can always come back in and add an image later. So you'll go ahead and go down and select your vintage. You'll put in your product name, your description. From here, we will go to identification. If you use a fulfillment partner or an API partner, you definitely want to make sure that your SKU matches exactly the way you have it with your partners. Same with UPC code. If you have one, make sure those numbers match correctly. And then TTB label ID. So if your product's over 7% alcohol by volume, you will need to have it registered with the TTB. So you'll put your cola ID into here. Again, very important that it's correct. Label information, you'll just go ahead and start filling this out. What information makes sense for your product. And then container type. This is, again, a very important section because this does kind of base how the shipping charges are. So, of course, it's done by weight. So we want to make sure we have that correct. So you'll just go through and start adding things. And once you start adding things, it'll start kind of helping fill out. So see there, now I've got the total weight of 3, my box slots. You just want to make sure that all of that is correct. The inventory and the amount you want to sell within Vinoshipper. The almost sold out threshold, if you put in a number here, when you hit that number, you'll have a banner on your website saying that product's almost sold out. So it'll kind of urge your customers to purchase that. Price and MSRP. So if you use wholesale, you might want to put in a different MSRP. Then we are going to go down and look at the settings. So your availability, if you have specific availability settings or specifications, like at least this product needs to ship in its own box, or you have a specific order quantity. So, they have to buy 3 bottles, but no more than 6 or something of that nature. But otherwise you can leave those off. And then any additional information you have, I always think it's great to go ahead and put any of this that you have. Customers love to know about the products, and the more information, the better. Awards and ratings. Again, if you have a great award, I definitely think it's fun to put that in for your customers to see. And then before you click save, I would just go right back up and double check your work. Any mistake on the TTB label ID might make the product sit in our queue to be approved for longer because it is not accurate. Otherwise, once you hit save, we just double check your product against the TTB label as long as, it is above 7%. And then your product will be approved and will be showing in your product list, ready to sell. If it is pending approval, it will say next to it, pending approval. You can also from here change the inventory quickly if you need to. So it's really nice to kind of, once you get your products going, to just, keep looking at your product list and making sure everything's up to date. So the next thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and create a catalog. So a catalog is the way that the products are shown on your web store. When we were creating a product, we had the option of hiding it from the catalog, from the main catalog. You could go ahead and make it hidden if you do not want it to pop up on your website. But what I like to do is create my own catalog for, let's say the tasting room, or a specific, if the holidays are coming up and you have some holiday bundles that you want to do, maybe you want to make a catalog called bundles, and you can go ahead and create multi-packs within Vinoshipper, and you could add certain things to that catalog. So I'm just going to add a couple things so you can quickly see what I'm talking about here. I'll just add one more product. Alrighty. So let's say I have this as my specific bundles catalog. Let's just pretend. I could go ahead and move these around and change the kind of organization of how they'll display. And then if I want to go ahead and put this catalog on my website, I could click show code. So as long as you know you have the um, like plugin or the injector code already on your website, assuming that you do, you could go ahead and use the Vinoshipper injector and get the HTML code so that you can add this catalog to your website. Alrighty. The next thing I'll quickly show you is how to do a discount. So to do a discount, we will go to the product drop down to discounts, and we will do a new discount. There's many different types of discounts you can do. You can do an automatic discount, automatic club discount, a coupon, a single use code. So I think it's really fun to go in here and sort of set up a few different discounts from the beginning, especially if you do have a club and those club members receive a specific, incentive. You can set that up. But I'm going to do an automatic discount for this demo. So I am going to do for this, let's say, we'll do 3 bottles, 15%. That's what we'll call it. So for any 3 bottles, 15% off the product, I'm going to put as my description. And you can do whatever makes sense for your business. So my criteria is going to default to retail, but if you want to make a wholesale discount, you could create that here as well. So I did 3 bottles at 15% off. So that is an order quantity criteria. So the minimum is 3 bottles. If I had a maximum, that I didn't want this to apply to, let's say over 6 bottles or something, I could put in that. You could also do minimum dollar value, cart type, delivery type, club members only. So go ahead and look through that. And then incentive, I did a product discount. So I'm going to click that. I'm going to do a percent and I'm going to put 15% off. And advanced features. So if you want this discount to be able to be stackable with other discounts, you can turn that on. If you want it only going to customers in specific states or zip codes or only specific products, you can go ahead and turn those things on. If you do specific products, then you'll go ahead and add the product that it's specific for here. So I'm going to do create I'm going to turn that off quickly. And I'm going to do create discount. And then it says my discount is ready. I definitely suggest testing it. So it is going as a shipping. So it's going to ask me the quickest way is just put in a zip code that you're familiar with. And then we will go ahead and add some product to test it. So I'm going to just click this Malbec and I did 3 bottles as my minimum. So we will do test. And oh, well, I have a minimum order of 4 for shipping orders, but that's okay. We can still see the discount. So 3 bottles, 15% off is going to be $56.25 off of this order. So I can see that, yes, my discount is working correctly, which is really great. So again, yes, I definitely suggest you go in, you start adding your products, you play around with your catalogs and how you want those to look. In the beginning, you can just do a main catalog, but you definitely still probably want to go through and move them around and have the products that, you really want your customers to see right away to the top. And then as, your business grows and you know, your products grow and things, you can create new catalogs based on how you want to do that. And then definitely create some discounts. Alrighty, I hope this was helpful. Have a great day. Bye.